How did you meet Didier Drogba?
How did I meet him? So my parents live in Crystal Palace, and in Crystal Palace I had a friend that was a footballer, and then so I created a lookbook. So if you don't know what a lookbook is, there's different items on how you dress, and I sent them out to all like Chelsea football team, all these kind of footballers, and then Drogba, like he reached out to me, and I became his stylist. Yeah.
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
A story a day. We've got a great story for you today, folks. Our guest today is actually born dyslexic. And when she was 18 months old, they relocated to the United Kingdom. And that's where she basically grew up. Not too long ago, she quit her job at the age of 20 to build a fashion empire in the UK. And if I told you who some of her clientele are, you will be shocked.
She's here in studio with us, and for those who don't know what dyslexia is, like Otieko Lawrence all the way in Likoni, Dolly will tell us the definition.
Absolutely. Dolly Quintter Mungai commutes between here and the UK, but is planning to relocate to Kenya. Says there's no place like home. Dolly, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How often do you come home?
I come home from October. I've been coming home once a month, so I miss a month and then come the other month.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're really getting used to it now?
I'm really getting used to the traffic. I'm really getting used to the traffic.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to a lot of things, but yeah. I'm loving it. There's no place like home.
You've got family here, or you just want to come and set up?
Actually, all my immediate family live in England, but I obviously have like uncles and aunts and cousins here, so I'm not starting from scratch.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go back to the beginning.
Dyslexia.
Well,
For Otieko, you know,
okay,
some of
dyslexia first.
So I was diagnosed with dyslexia at the age of like 6. For those that don't know what dyslexia is a coordination disorder which affects you from like reading, writing, identifying numbers. So that's really basically it. And some of like the greatest minds that have walked our planet, like Einstein, Steve Jobs, Will Smith, they have dyslexia. So I feel like I am a dyslexia ambassador, and I want to spread the dyslexia awareness, especially in Kenya, because I feel like so many people are not aware about dyslexia, and so many people are forced on to be so academic.
Yeah.
And I feel that I need to bring that gospel, and yeah.
Were you
So now, like some words you can read, others you can't.
Exactly. Just words like maybe somebody's name that I've never like seen before. That might be a little bit difficult, or a road that I don't know. I'll struggle to read it. But if it's something that I'm familiar with, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you late in learning, in talking?
No, actually, I was actually quite an early bloomer, but it's just that I've just never really been academic. But everything else, I walked at a good age. I did things
Normally.
Yeah, normally. What is normal though? So, yeah.
So you were 18 months old when your folks relocated?
Yeah, that's
Go on.
correct. That's correct. So we moved to England because my mum's a therapist, and obviously at that time therapy wasn't really a big thing in Kenya. So she moved to England to pursue her career.
What kind of therapy? Talk therapy,
Relationship and sex therapy.
Okay, because there's all kinds of therapy.
Yeah.
What's her number?
What's that? Plus
You
4.
want to use the talk therapy or All right, so how is it going for her in the UK? And
How's it going for me in England? England is home, but I've always felt like there was something missing. So that's why I've decided, especially like now, coming back to Kenya and realizing the gap that we do have in dyslexia. this is where I really want to be. I feel like this is like where my spirit should be, like where I should be.
You know, a couple of years ago, the entire world stopped, and I'm sure in the UK it was no different during COVID.
Yes.
I mean, and you know, a lot of people were laid off. A lot of people lost their jobs. Could that have influenced you to think again? You know, what am I doing with my life?
Most definitely, because when COVID did hit, I think most people did go through that moment when they asked themselves some serious questions, because you spent so much time by yourself. You like got to like really reflect, and things that you probably thought were great chasing, you started to realize they weren't that important. So that's why I started my organization, DQM Foundation, to just be able to like, you know, help, even if it's one person or one parent who has a child or an adult who has dyslexia, just to like show them that they're not alone.
Yeah. And by the way, the numbers are quite high, right? I mean, there are quite a few kids.
Yeah. Out of 10 people, 4 people have dyslexia. So I am sure, probably you guys know several people that have dyslexia. Whether they know it, that's the difference. Whether they know if they have dyslexia or not.
Yeah, like me when girls send me texts, you haven't said you love me, like I can't sound out that.
You
When I read it kind of shut down.
that doesn't sound like dyslexia.
No,
that sounds like something else.
Yeah.
That sounds like you got too many girls on your list. Huh?
That and amnesia.
Yeah. Or selective memory.
There you go.
So you got into the world of fashion. Take us back to where it all began.
Oh, it started in a store called Harrods, the store, Harrods, where I'd say the 1% shops, especially when I worked there, Mr. Al-Fayed owned the store, so it was a very prestige store. It was very strict, and I worked there, and I've always, especially been raised by a therapist, I'm very good at relationship building, so I built my clientele, and then I started Stylist Dolly.
How? I mean, did you know you had the skills, or?
I've always been into fashion. I've always been into fashion and travel from like young. I've always loved traveling, and especially when I was younger, when my mum would go shopping, you know, when some kids would run to the toy section, I would always run to the magazine section and just flick. In spite of having dyslexia, I would always look through magazines. So I was always really interested in like fashion, always. So it's always something that like, you know, like the back of your mind, you just know that you don't know how it's going to work out, but you're going to do something with fashion.
So I guess your mom and dad were very, very passionate about, you know, letting you be.
Oh, 100%. Again, being raised by a therapist, everything is a bit like kumbaya, you know. Let's talk about your feelings. How do you feel? What's bothering you? You know what I mean? It's more like it's very different, considering to like how my peers' parents were.
How are your peers' parents?
Well, like military, like some of my friends' parents are really strict, where mine were more like
liberal.
Yeah, like let's have a conversation. Like, you know, like I can not count how many times my mum would, if she's done something wrong, she'd always apologize. She's never too big to say I'm sorry.
Oh. Wow. What about your dad? You haven't mentioned your dad.
Oh, he's special. He doesn't talk much. He's like
I guess he's not even in the picture.
Yeah. He is, but he doesn't talk much. He's quiet. He's a quiet man. He's a man of very few words. He's in banking, so he doesn't really say much. Yeah, you know, like he just gets on with it. He just gets on with it. But I guess it must be difficult having 2 women, you know, in the house.
Yeah.
You know, so he probably just thinks, you know what, the quieter I am, the better.
So before he shoots himself in the foot.
Yeah, just what he thinks. It's just like.
So you were saying you built relationships with your clientele, and obviously people who shop at Harrods are top notch. How did you get your first client?
How did I get that? It's so interesting that you asked that. I had a gentleman from Nigeria, and he wanted to buy some watches. So I took him to the watch department, and he spent £1 million on 2 watches, and that's when I knew,
Wow.
like,
£1 million.
£1 million on 2 watches.
What brand of watches were these?
IWC and a Rolex. What? Yeah, but if you know about watches, they're a great investment. So like, if you've got the money, why not?
Yeah,
and
but
it
that's
just-
now like in the developed world. Here, you know, there's Rolexes for like 3K and Hublots for like 4-5. And the guys go, I've got a watch collection. Until they meet the real watch holders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. Did that shock you?
Do you know what that really made me realize, right? That anybody could have money. That's what it made me realize. Because if you looked at this gentleman, you'd have never thought he had money. And he just really just like, it was my light bulb moment.
Yeah.
And I just thought like, I could make money out of this.
Yeah, because now the commissions are high. if
Yeah,
you
I just
do
thought
it.
I could. I just thought if I had like 6 or 5 of you,
It's a wrap.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
And
I'm
you
off.
go back to Africa and tour.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So did you make him your first client or what?
Yeah, I made him my first client. He's still my client till today.
to this day.
Till today. Here to the day.
So if he wants something, he gives you a call.
He gives me a call. So if anything from a watch to a Birkin for his wife, anything from a diamond necklace, anything that he asks for, anything from a suit, a tailored suit, a Canali suit, a Tom Ford suit, whatever it is that he requests. Yeah.
So do you get them through Harrods or you make
No.
connections with other brands?
Yeah, well, no, I don't make connections with the individual brands. What I do is I work with independent boutiques, so smaller boutiques. Somewhere like Harrods, they don't need my footfall. You know, they're a big store. They're a 5-store shop, so they don't need my traffic. So I work with smaller stores, and with these smaller stores, if a client buys something, I then will get commission, and obviously the client will pay me to find.
awesome.
Yeah.
And let's say, for instance, the Nigerian, he's overseas, right?
Yes.
So if you send something and he's not satisfied,
You can always bring it back. You can always send it back. Yeah, but because as time goes on, you understand your clients, so the returns become, less and less and less and less. Only if there's a sizing problem, but they almost become like your friends. So you kind of know what they like, what they don't like, if they'll be happy with something. So so you build. My business is all about relationship building.
So all your clients, did you get them at the workplace? You like took them from your...
I didn't take them; they came with me. Yeah, I
Your
didn't take them.
therapist mom taught you how to play with words.
They came with me.
They
Yeah,
came with you.
they came with me.
okay, so how did you meet Didier Drogba?
How did I meet him? So my parents live in Crystal Palace, and in Crystal Palace I had a friend that was a footballer, and then so I created a lookbook. So if you don't know what a lookbook is, there's different items on how you dress, and I sent them out to all like Chelsea football team, all these kind of footballers, and then Drogba, like he reached out to me, and I became his stylist. Yeah.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
like that.
Just like that. You know, the thing is, you always got to take that leap of faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you knock on like 100 doors selling even a bottle of water or even an empty can, someone's gonna buy it.
Yeah, especially an empty can.
Yeah, someone's gonna buy it. Even if it's an empty can,
Yeah.
someone's gonna see use in your product if you're consistent enough.
All right.
Wow. And then others like Victoria Beckham.
Oh, Victoria Beckham, yeah.
Do you
Victoria.
guys call each other Vicky or what's it?
Yeah, I just call her Victoria. I don't know. I try to keep it as professional as possible. Yeah, Victoria Beckham, I got her from Harrods, or she came with me from Harrods.
Ah, nice. So what's a typical day for, now your business? You said it's called Style by Dolly?
Stylist Dolly.
Stylist Dolly.
Yeah.
So like a typical, let's talk about a transaction, like from talking to your client to delivery, like.
Okay, so basically, it depends on what season it is and depends on where my client is, because most of my clients have houses all over. So I have to identify where they're going to be at a particular time. So if they're going to be in somewhere like Sweden where it's a bit cold, I've got to identify. Obviously, I'm not going to send you gilets, I'm going to send you like fur jackets and stuff like that. So you identify that. And then you also got to work with seasons, and whatever is like new, you also send that to them. And if it's something that's exclusive, like a croc skin bag or something, and you know there's a client that like likes bags, you'll send that to them. And then also I have like a contract with my clients where the whole year I basically style what they're going to wear, with from their basics to their events, and then I just send them looks, and then they would say like, I want 1, 2, 3, or I say 3 would suit you and 4, you should have 4 in your closet, and it just works like that.
I see your Instagram handle.
Yes.
What did Dolly wear?
Yes, what did Dolly wear?
Right?
Yes.
So it looks like you wear a lot of your stuff. I mean, you parade a lot of your stuff.
No, actually.
So why did you get on social media?
Why did I get on social media? I felt like I needed, especially when COVID started, I felt like I needed to expand, you know? I needed to expand. And I also felt if I was going to do anything out of my comfort zone, because I was always very comfortable living quite a private life, not being on social media, I just thought if I just push myself that little bit, what could come out of this? So that's so what could come out of this, again, like I said to you before, just trying to like cross boundaries and just like trying to be in situations that I'm a bit uncomfortable, because really I'm not a picture type of girl.
But you're very nice to look at. You should take more pictures. What am I saying?
What are you saying?
Yeah,
What am I saying?
what are you
In
saying?
selfish words,
Yeah.
you're quite appealing. You're a beautiful young lady.
Oh,
from
why?
a size
Why? Thank you. Why? Thank you. Why? Thank you.
There come amnesia's next. Watch out.
I know. I know how many. You told me about your many girlfriends. So.
No, I just said, for example.
For example.
If someone sends you a text that you can't, yeah.
Okay.
So you do think there's a market in Kenya? You do think people have some, what is it called, disposable income?
Well, yes, I do. We are. Was it number 5 or 6 richest country in Africa? That's big. That's
And
that's
you said for a
massive.
business, you don't need many clients. Maybe even 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. That's massive. Being like, and we what? How many countries are in Africa? Is it
54.
Is it say? And we're number 6 or 5. Like,
Yeah.
or like that is major.
And it's untapped.
Yes. Yeah. Untapped.
Wow. So how's it been like since you got back? You know, you said you've settled in with your uncles and they're just trying to bond, but now trying to get into the market, or you're still giving it some time?
Really, realistically, with the fashion stuff, I've really not tried to push that as much in Kenya. I've really been just really pushing awareness on dyslexia, because it's something that's just so passionate to me. Because I could only imagine if somebody who lives in Kenya who has dyslexia, who's forced to be academic, because you know, like, obviously we live in like such an academic society, they're incapable, or that they're much more maturer and they just don't know they have dyslexia, so they struggle all their life, maybe thinking that there's something wrong with them. They keep like, you know, repeating a class, and you just, you know, imagine how that person must feel. And like I said, and I've been extremely lucky that I've been raised in a place where dyslexia is very recognized. So if I go somewhere and I say I'm dyslexic, people don't look at me like, what? They just like, yeah, okay.
They accept you.
Yeah, they accept me. So that's what I want to do. I want to bring a lot of awareness here about dyslexia, so relationships with parents as well and children, there's not that like friction, because parents struggle so much to take their kids to maybe university, school, and they're just not getting it, and then it brings a sort of friction, and parents think their kids are not trying hard enough, and their kids start to feel a type of way, so it leads to all sorts of stuff. It leads to alcoholism, drugs, you know, because they feel inadequate. They feel like they're incapable.
Yes,
like
you know, I know there were people in Britain like to take tea 4 or 5 times a day.
You guys like to take tea as well. Yeah, you guys like to take tea. It's just I think the settling in. is a bit difficult.
Okay.
You know, it's a bit like the timekeeping. I know I was a bit late today, but you know, the
No, you
timekeeping.
came on time.
Did I come on time?
Yeah, you started 8 to 10.
Oh, okay,
7:10.
yeah.
yeah, 7:10.
I think the timekeeping, the communication. I find people don't really communicate as much.
Yeah, Kenyans
Yeah.
have that habit.
Yeah, they
Terrible.
don't. They don't say it how it is.
Like if someone doesn't want something, they'll say, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Call me tomorrow.
yeah, call me
3 years later, like, now I'm in a meeting.
Yeah. There's always a reason why they didn't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Tell me something. Have you gotten in touch with the local dyslexic society or whatever they are called?
I've been to last time I came, I went to the Royal Gem School, which they have kids with dyslexia. But the only thing that I found with all the organisations that I've seen in Kenya with people with dyslexia, they put everybody in the same box. So even if you have autism or you have Down syndrome, they just put you in the same box where where everybody needs a space. But children or adults or people that have dyslexia, we're slightly different. You know, so we need to certain different things, and that's what I found. I found dyslexia is not really recognized. It's recognized, but it's not really. No one really.
You just say all these children who are unable to read or not paying attention in class,
Put them
in one box.
Yeah, what exactly?
Okay.
That's a shame, huh?
Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. But I'm here to try and make a difference.
How old are you? You look pretty young.
32. I'm gonna be 33 this year.
Wow, for you.
You are aging very well. You are
Thank you.
aging very well.
I can tell you're a sweet talker.
Yeah,
I can tell,
sweet
right?
like melted butter.
I can tell you're sweet. He's like a poet. Yeah, exactly.
Sweet and dangerous.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm just good with words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're Shakespeare, are you?
That's
exactly.
what I was looking for.
Odhiambo. Do your clients flirt with you like this man is?
No, I'm just trying to make you comfortable.
I'm very comfortable clinging onto my seat.
But you still retain them even wherever you are on the planet.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Because
I
you
do.
know where to shop. You
I know where to shop. Yeah. So I don't have to physically be there.
Nice. That's how the world has gone to the next level.
That's right, with social media especially. Tell me something, Dolly. If someone's listening to you for the very first time and they're afraid to say that they are dyslexic, or they were never told they were dyslexic,
Or they haven't figured it out.
They haven't
just
figured
think
it out.
that, reading is not their thing.
and they're hearing you for the very first time, can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've got an organisation called DQM Foundation, and you can just go and on my website. There's a help desk where we can maybe give you some tools or some give you some guidance. Obviously we're still expanding, and we plan to give people certain things, certain special pens to deal with. If you're gonna struggle filling out application forms, you can come in and someone can help you do that. So we're going to expand a lot more, but the beginning is talking about it. So there's a help desk.
So it's a DQM Foundation.
Foundation.
Okay. So the phone numbers and everything are on there.
Yeah, everything is on
It's
there.
not the same as yours.
No.
Keep setting yourself up.
No, it's not.
DQM.
Foundation. Nice.
And obviously you don't remember, but where were you born? What part of Kenya?
Gashiye.
Just down
Yeah, I
the road.
remember. I know Gashiye.
Have you been there of late?
No, but I do know Gashiye. I think that's the only place that I could go and not get lost.
Seriously?
I promise.
You should go there now.
Yeah. Gashiye.
Jeff doesn't live too far from
I'm
there.
right around the corner from Gashi.
I love Gashiye. It's there's so much going on. Don't you not think?
A lot going on. It's
Right?
so busy.
Yeah, I love it. I love the vibe.
Yeah.
I love the vibe, yeah.
G-Town in the house.
Down in the house.
So before the 24th, we'll take you to G-Town.
You know?
Yeah. Have you had the local delicacies? Have you eaten the wide range of Kenyan foods, or back home you also have it?
Oh, what, Githeri and stuff?
No, Githeri, I know you guys definitely eat. You are Mwihaki's daughter, surely.
Yeah. Have you spoken to my mom?
No, Jeff is looking for on Instagram right now.
Khakis.
Have you gotten used to the local food?
Yeah, but I like to cook for myself, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yeah, I like to cook for myself, but I do like the local food. Yeah, some things I like better than others. I'm not a fan of ugali though.
You're not?
No.
call it maize paste cake.
Maize paste cake. No, I'm not a fan.
Oh yeah? What do you like?
What do I like? I like the samosas.
Samosa is not a meal, young lady. That's like me coming to us and say, I really like eating cookies for dinner.
yeah. What else do I like?
Mokimo you must like.
I like mukimo. Yeah, I do.
The pitch in your voice says no.
Yeah.
I do. Nah. It's okay. I can get by. I'd say I'm still adjusting to the food.
Yeah, it happens. Don't worry.
I'm still adjusting.
No pressure. Eat what makes you happy.
Yeah.
So, besides the DQM and then the fashion thing, is there anything else you'd like to do in this world?
Make a difference. Do you know what I mean? Make a difference. I feel like if we all did our little 1% to make a difference, imagine how great it would be. So that's like something I'm really like passionate about. Especially, I know you just said only apart from dyslexia, but I really want to make a difference, especially where I'm from. I feel like I could like really like change certain things.
In what way, Dolly? In
what way? I feel like I could, especially like being dyslexic and obviously my mum having a dyslexic child, I could really help other parents and also help other children because I've been through it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously my situation's a bit different, but I can help other people. And obviously I'm an adult now, and I could help other adults who are dyslexic and they just don't know what to do, because there's been several times where I've gone to the wrong airport, I've turned up somewhere the wrong day.
How does one miss a whole airport?
Listen, it gets better. Do you know what? I've gone to Gatwick instead of going to Heathrow, and I've gone there like giving the lady like my passport, and she just types it in, and she's like, "I'm sorry, my love, you're at the wrong airport." I'm like, "What? Wrong airport?" So yeah, it happens, and that's dyslexia for you.
Sorry. Oh, wow. And I guess making a difference will make you'll have to deal with a lot of people. So that's a lot of time before you get the word around Kenya, Africa, the world. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. What's ever happened with your dyslexia, other than missing an airport or flight?
Oh my gosh, there was one time a customer was making an order and they were sending me £16,000 and they were putting the money in my account and I missed the digit.
So it went into somebody else's account.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you get it back?
No, I didn't get it back. Yeah, but you live and learn, don't you?
Oh.
You live and you learn. So now I just have it on on my notes, so I just copy and paste it. But you live and you learn. Some mistakes are costly, but they're a mistake. You learn from it.
And everyone makes mistakes anyway.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are there any drugs one can take for dyslexia?
No, actually, because dyslexia is something that's hereditary. So most likely, maybe not. If I have a child, they could be dyslexic. And obviously, like my granddad, he didn't know. He died without knowing that he was dyslexic. So it's hereditary. So there's nothing you can take. There's nothing you can do for it. You just basically learn just to live with it and just cope with it.
So listen, do you mind giving out your social media handles if people want to get in touch?
Yeah, of course. What did Dolly wear on Instagram?
So Kenyans are a little slow, so you may want to slow down a little bit.
Subtitle is the word.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What? WHAT-DID-DOLLY.
Where?
Dash WEAR.
Very nice.
What
Very nice.
did Dolly wear?
Now, before we wrap up this hour, what's on your playlist? Do you listen to African music? What's that one song you wake up to and you're like, woo, today is going to be a good day? Let's see if we have it.
Go with the manene, go with the manene.
Guys,
So are you very religious?
No, actually, I'm spiritual. But that's the first song that comes to my head. Or Sam Cooke, Cupid,
Oh, that's
roll
an old
back
song.
your bow.
You have an old soul.
Yeah, do you not love songs like that?
I love it. We grew up with those songs.
Yeah, I love Sam
up.
Cooke. You look so lost.
no,
You're like, what?
Sam
Sam
Cooke
who?
is old
Who
school.
is that?
That reminds me of the good old days.
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't even there, but it's the good
Yeah,
old
yeah,
days when Jeff was around.
Why don't you get Sam Cooke from your side? What do you think?
Okay, we'll be like a radio presenter. This is one opportunity you get and introduce your song. The Sam Cooke one.
You are listening to Sam Cooke. Cupid.
Yeah.
Here it goes.